Capricorn, so this is your new and full moon astrology horoscope and also the tarot for the month. So for you, Capricorn, the full moon, of course, is taking place in your first house, and the new moon is taking place in Leo, which is your 8th house. So here, Capricorn, the full moon is in a new phase lunation cycle according to evolutionary astrology. And this is where, because it's in regards to the first house, house of self, your persona, also I like to say your secret, powers here to implement your soul's evolutionary intent to go outside in the external to handle the collective needs at the current, or the influence of the age one is in. So it's in the dynamics of Cancer and Capricorn. But, the first house is just basically your persona, the energy you have to navigate with, and your physical body here. How you operate in the external. So, here, Capricorn, within this new phase lunation cycle, Pluto retrograde is conjunct the moon here, your emotions. This is a full moon, so it's coming to a point of culmination, release, a climax. So the energy is definitely high here. And with Pluto conjunct retrograde with the new moon in your first, with the full moon, or with the moon in your first house, the new phase is already an energy that is kind of contemplating and becoming aware of the soul's evolutionary intent to align itself with the needs of the collective and go ahead and go through some sort of transformation process, but even much so with Pluto retrograde. So, the retrograde really is a time to integrate the lessons of Pluto, how it has been transforming you and having you go through a purification process regarding the self. And according to the full moon, this is the dynamic between you and your shadow side, and integrating that in a healthy way, but also, partnership as well. That is also going through quite a bit of a transformation process and integrating what has been learned in order to purify and help you emotionally intuit more balance regarding yourself, and integrating the shadow work that you have been receiving with Pluto retrograde going through your first, or Pluto going through your first house, and with partnerships here. So there is of course there's a crescent phase lunation cycle that is making a 60-degree sextile aspect between this full moon in your first house and Neptune retrograde, which is in Pisces, that rules your second house. So what I can speak about this is with Pluto retrograde involved, conjunct the moon. A sextile, of course, is something that comes with more ease, but there's action required, but it's action with somewhat less, an action that can be applied that doesn't have a whole lot of tension that comes along with it, or any fear. So it's kind of, things are lined out for you, you have the instructions, and the sextile helps you kind of ease in and push forward with whatever the need to push forward is. And because it's involving the moon conjunct Pluto retrograde in your first house, making this 60-degree sextile within a crescent phase over to Neptune retrograde in Pisces in your second house. Well, the crescent phase is when there is a fear to kind of backslide and to more contemplation, but the fact with the crescent phase is because you've gained awareness, now you're starting to kind of feel the energy of the soul's intention to evolve here. So you're getting the necessary curiosity to move along with the process of the soul's intent to evolve here. And you're understanding what you need to do to move forward to the next phase, which then will be the first quarter phase, which is allowing for the action to start happening. However, within the crescent phase here, Neptune retrograde is signifying the ability to now see clearer. So we can dissolve here with it being in Pisces. This is more collective energy. Pisces is a bleed through energy, so you're going to feel more unconsciously. And with Neptune, it's just adding to this energy. However, it's in retrograde, so you can incorporate or integrate, the work done. You can see clearly what the message was with all of this unconscious work that has pulled you into, some sort of collective need. And because it's in your third house, this is definitely dealing with the needs of the community, even more so, and aligning with what is going to help bring more connection with the unconscious needs of the social environments within community here. So with the 60-degree sextile, you're going to get an idea of how to proceed and make the necessary adjustments in order to allow this. It's almost like this new you here, because you're bringing about a different kind of energy, and you're incorporating that within your own persona here into the community in order to help the community connect together more, help it heal together more, and kind of those types of focuses, those types of, I want to say issues, but issues sounds like detrimental and problematic. Concerns, those kinds of concerns in the community now. So now I'll talk about the kite aspect for you, Capricorn, which is happening in The nodes are involved in this kite, and the Sun and Mercury are involved, and Neptune retrograde. And also Uranus is conjunct the North Node. So here quickly, I'll just share that, you know, the South Node is in Scorpio, which rules your 10th house here. Or excuse me, it rules your 11th house. And Taurus rules your 5th house. So all of this energy is wanting to, it's definitely wanting to get away from your image. Your image here has been, or a reputation, you could even say, has been going through a transformation, purification within the larger context of humanity, or, you know, social media, or, you know, your legacy is being somewhat redefined with this energy, and it's being, and this is happening in order to liberate you, in order to help you become more aware of your unconscious desire to spiritually understand your authentic identity and how to gain security within your emotions, and understand also how to communicate this and express this in a logical way to others, basically. So that's the kite energy. And then I'll talk about the Grand Trine here. So the Grand Trine is going on in the water houses, which rules Scorpio, rules your 11th, the South Node there. And then the Sun conjunct Mercury is there in Cancer, ruling your 7th house, your descendant. And then Pisces rules your 3rd house, which is, this Grand Trine is made possible because, you know, Neptune is retrograde in Pisces, the last planet to create this Grand Trine. So what I'm picking up here, Capricorn, is there's a lot of healing with the Grand Trine, and it's almost feeling oneself in a degree where it's like you've got the leadway, or you got the permission to allow yourself to heal with this Grand Trine, regarding how you're able to integrate your shadow side healthily, within the community, based upon this new sense of you, and this new purpose also that you've established for yourself, that is going to help bring more healing and more of a spiritual awakening, in a sense, within your community. And this is because this energy is stimulating this within yourself, so it's very healing, and you got permission and leadway to kind of embody this within community and at large here. And it's like others are taking notice, basically, which they're supposed to with this energy, because they're getting something good from it here, is what I'm picking up on. And then with the T-square going on, it is involving Saturn retrograde, which is 24 degrees in your second house in the sign of Aquarius. And then it's with the nodes, and of course South Node being in Scorpio, ruling your 11th house, and then the North Node being in your 5th house in the sign of Leo, conjunct Uranus here. So integrating the work of Saturn retrograde, which is deconditioning now because it's retrograde. So what you've been conditioned now, it's almost like with the deconditioning process, you're able to break it down in a way where it ingrains and incorporates the lessons within yourself that is going to benefit you in an individual liberating kind of way, and not so much a consensus way, you know? So the second house here, self-value, your resourcefulness, your sensibility, your sense of security and self-containment, definitely what you value here. All of these have been conditioned in the past, and going through this deconditioning process with Saturn retrograde and integrating this now is allowing you to kind of like the Tower card in the tarot, but the Tower card in a good, beneficial way that's not shocking. It's just allowing you to really integrate what kind of individuates you in a way where you're more authentic, and you can be in society more authentically, but still carry on with, you know, the needs of the collective, so to say. Because the 11th and the 5th house here, you're getting away from just past karma with humanity, past power dynamics with the South Node being in Scorpio in your 11th house. And there's a new sense of you emerging that's very liberating and more creative and more sporadic and spontaneous, so people can see